If you've been on social media recently, you might already be aware of this. However, if you haven't seen it, something's happened to Jeff Nippard that we really need to talk about. Jeff Nippard is someone that uses a scientific and an evidence-based approach to his workouts. He tries to incorporate what he learns and what he sees into his workouts to his viewers to try and show that there's value in research and evidence and not just going by whatever you feel like. However, he does also say that he likes to watch the big guys to try and take on board what they say as well as what the evidence says. Recently, a content creator called Big Mike Van Wyck called him out and said, "I don't understand why the scientific-based lifters are so mid, so small compared to people like me." Jeff made a reply on his Instagram basically saying, "I do listen to what you say, I listen to what the evidence says, basically what I've just said, this is how I approach my workouts." All quite normal stuff. This is the video, by the way.
We all know the science-based guys. Science guys really need to answer this question before anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show, and while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5 foot 5 inches tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training, and if you want to make it in the IFBB, steroid use. I like science because it gives me more confidence in what actually works and what doesn't, because it isolates variables. If you trust a big guy's advice over scientific studies, that doesn't bother me. I listen to what big guys have to say too.
As you can see, there's nothing in there that's too offensive. He just says, you work out the way that you work out, I work out the way that I work out. It's all good. It's all gravy. Everyone's happy. However, recently they were in the same gym and the two didn't really interact all that well. Jeff made a post on his Instagram basically saying that he was at the gym minding his own business. I'll show you the video. This is what actually happened.
Damn.
Following this altercation, Jeff's posted on his Instagram to explain his side of the story. It reads as follows. First, I just want to give an update that I've got a CT scan done and that I'm okay. In case you didn't see it, this is exactly what happened and there were many witnesses. Mike Van Micro-Penis jabbed me in the throat twice in the middle of the gym and then shoved my cameraman. There's already a lie going around that Mike asked me to stay away from him and that I didn't listen. I approached him first. This is false, and at Pure Muscle Fitness has security footage to prove it. I think that they should release it. This is exactly what happened. As I was filming bicep curls for a YouTube short, Mike brushed past me and said, "Sup, this was our first engagement of the day." I chuckled. Mike said, "Oh, things are about to get real funny," as he walked past me. I then asked him, "What did you mean by that?" and made sure my cameraman was filming in case he tried any funny business. Then he walked back towards me, he said, "Turn off the camera," and immediately jabbed me in the throat and I fell to the floor. He then turned to my videographer and pushed him against the cable machine, then he walked away. That is the full story and there is gym security footage to prove it. It's up to the gym if they want to release it. I really want to say thank you, I appreciate all the outpouring of support, all that sort of good stuff. So, if you watch the video, we can see that Jeff actually has his hands behind his back, tucking his shirt in or reaching for his pockets. He's in no way, shape or form gearing up for a fight. And Mike Van Micro-Penis comes along and then sucker punches him right in the throat. Just complete bully behaviour. No need. Like, Jeff is, I think, 5 foot 5, and this guy is obviously a fair bit bigger than him. Despite the height difference between the two, it's completely uncalled for to sucker punch someone. Jeff Nippard hosts different podcasts and interviews. If you have a difference in training plans or schedules, you can talk it through. There's no need to go up to someone and sucker punch someone in the middle of a gym for no reason. And if what Jeff is saying is true, that the first altercation is him being the aggressor, then it goes to show you that actually this was never going to be a peaceful meeting. It's such a shame that something like this has happened because people like Jeff, Joey Swole, Dr. Mike have worked so hard for years to try and overcome the negative stereotype that gyms have. People like me don't generally go into the gyms, but a lot more people fear going into the gyms, mainly for the toxic gym culture that people expect to find when they go there. Things like this, the drug use, the steroid use, the aggression, all that stuff really puts people off, especially now with content creators going in the gym and finding gym creeps and everyone judging each other. It's a really toxic place to be, but people like Jeff are really trying to break down the barriers to get more and more people comfortable with working out, self-care and going to the gym, as are Joey Swole and Dr. Mike. And when something like this happens, it sets the whole industry back so far because one person can't control their temper because they've had a disagreement. You're adults, you can talk about it. We don't know the full picture without seeing the CCTV released by the gym. Even in this video, it's quite clear to see that Jeff did not expect to be punched, and obviously it sent him flying. And if you look behind him, there's a big rack, so if he'd have smacked his head on that, he could have caused himself some serious harm. He sent Jeff Jeff to the hospital anyway, but his injuries could have been so much worse. And all of that over a disagreement over training philosophy? What is the point? I just don't get it. People like Jeff have worked tirelessly for years to try and break down the barriers that stop people from going into the gym. They try and educate people on the best kind of results for their workouts and try and be a positive influence on all people that go to the gym. And people like Mike Van Winkle come along and then just spoil it for the rest of us. There's no need for it. It's a shame I've had to make this video to show you guys what's happened. But I'll keep you guys updated in the future if anything else happens or if there's any more footage that's released. The gym should be a place of reflection and recreation. You should be going there to work on yourself, work on your muscle, help each other and build a community like Jeff has. But Mike Van Tiny Penis just can't handle that. There's no need for it. I hope Jeff has a speedy recovery and that he's not too injured by all this. I hope the internet does what the internet does best and make sure that Mike gets the appropriate response. There's no place for this and there's no need for it. The gym isn't just yours, and you can have a disagreement, you can have a difference in opinion. It's not you are right and they are wrong. There's always room for learning and growth. It's a shame that he couldn't see that at the time. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on updates in the future.
Don't be the reason someone quits. Be the reason they stay and succeed.